Hello, I am Wallace, the Polish toy guy. Thank you for joining me in today's video, in which I am going to show you a toy from Transformers Movie 2007 line, the Real Gear Robot Decepticon Power-Up VT-6. I am recording this review now, that is, from my perspective, March 2017, because this month we have the launch of Nintendo Switch, a new device by Nintendo that combines a stationary TV console with a handheld, and since Power-Up VT-6 also transforms into a handheld, these two somehow connected in my mind. And in my opinion, this handheld over here looks quite nice. I definitely like the design of this device. Honestly, it reminds me of a combination of Game Boy Advance, perhaps Game Boy Micro, and the gamepad for Super Nintendo. Especially with this black and grey pattern and colored buttons. And not much is going on the back, but the front is full of nice details. We have a D-pad, we have action buttons, we have something I presume is start and select, we have a loudspeaker, and we have a screen made out of a sticker that shows for some reason gameplay involving Cybertron Ultra Class Jetfire. Okay, the reason is this subline Real Gear robot was intended to originally be released alongside Transformers Cybertron, but when the word got out that Transformers movie was coming, it was decided to postpone the release of these toys so that it could be sold as another assortment for Transformers movie. But the design was already so advanced that they decided to leave the elements that were designed during the Cybertron era unchanged, and thus we have characters from Cybertron on a movie toy. So what can we see in this picture aside Jetfire? We have some crosshairs, Jetfire blowing something up inside a city zone. We have plane transform. We have, I think, number of targets we already destroyed against number of targets in total. We have Decepticon logo, some energy bars, I think. So yes, this does in fact look like a game display. Quite nice. But the real nice thing about this is that the buttons are spring-loaded. The D-pad, you press it and it collapses. And so do the action buttons. This is a really nice detail. Of course, these have one spring for one set of buttons, so this, and this is all collapsed on a central spring, but still, the fact that these buttons actually collapse and are not molded into this surface is really great. And for more buttons, we also have shoulder bumpers. A quite nice touch. And we also can see top of the robot head, but that detail is quite easy to ignore. And we also have this little thing that is present only on one side, so my experience with handhelds tells me this is supposed to be a power indicator. Not shining red, not nothing, but still I think that's the purpose of this detail. And now let's compare Power-Up VT-6 to some other toys I have. So let's start with another Real Gear robot toy. This is Speed Dial the cell phone. Here we have Hunt for the Decepticons Scout Class Breacher. Here we have the Toaster of Doom Revenge of the Fallen Ejector. Here we have an actual electronic game that I can show you if you want later. And finally, here we have Cybertron Ultra Class Jetfire. Alright, now we can start the transformation, which is going to be a very simple process, especially that it involves a rather wide automorph. So what we want to do is to unclip the sides from the main portion of the body, gently, like that. And now we can start straightening out these parts by moving them to the sides. and as you can tell, these will become the robot legs, and now it's time for the automorph. So as we straighten these out and swing them forward, we pull them together, and the gear system inside the robot torso will actually deploy the robot arms to the sides, as well as push out the robot head. So we do it, halves of the crotch connect, and the arms deployed, as well as did the head. So now we finish off the process by bending the legs straight, spinning them forward, and straightening up the hands and dropping the forearms down. And now Power Up VT-6 is in his robot mode. If I had to pick one word to describe this robot mode, I'd go with adorable. This in no way feels threatening, menacing, dangerous, but still it's quite charming, quite cute, simple, but nonetheless charming. And let's look at the head, because this is quite interesting. We can see a battle mask that has a cutout for the mouth. We have green eyes, some details with paint, and oddly enough, the back of the head is made entirely out of clear plastic. So we have two types of clear plastic in this head, and I think if we just leave it like that and hide the screw somehow, this could easily work as a secondary mode for the head, no problem. And because of how the transformation for this toy works, aside the head there are not all that many robot dedicated details left. We have some green that's supposed to represent the front of the feet. We have these protrusions which now act as heels. We have some details on the shoulder pads, on the thighs. And finally we have the hands, these pincher claws, which I know do not sit well with everyone, but this is a design choice that's made for more than just this toy. At least two more Real Gear humanoid robots have this kind of hands, and these can't hold weapons. They are not compatible with 5mm weapon grips, but I don't really mind, because Real Gear robots are supposed to be spies, infiltrators, transforming into one-to-one scale objects, so they don't have to fight anyone directly. Their mission is to affect the targets in more subtle, discreet ways, so I don't mind. This actually can make this toy stand out from regular Transformers a bit more, so it's not an everyday choice for hands, but it's a choice that I don't mind. And now let's take a look at the posability, which in my opinion is quite nice for a toy of this size. We have a simple swivel for the head, and we have three separate simple hinges to move the arm. One to move it up and down without any hindrance, one to raise it a bit on the shoulder bit, and one to move the forearm to the side. And the elbow is a ball joint, both to swivel the forearm and to bend it around 90 degrees, and we have a simple hinge for the hand. No waist swivel, but we do have ball jointed hips that allow a full split, as well as a very nice kick forward and a good kick backwards. And in the thigh we have a side swivel, and we have a simple swivel knee that allows a 90-degree bend, and we have nothing in the feet. So yeah, it's not the most advanced posability, but for a toy of this size, I like what I see. And now it's time to start the robot mode comparison, so let's begin with Real Gear Robot Longview and Revenge of the Fallen Scout Class Depth Charge. And let's move on to something bigger. That is Deluxe Bumblebee from Dark of the Moon, Voyager Skyhammer from Dark of the Moon, and Ultra Class Jetfire from Cybertron. And finally, here we have some real-life objects. That is the common cola can, €1 coin, $1 banknote, a typical Blu-ray case, and a typical DVD case. To sum it all up, Power Up VT-6 is a very simple but quite enjoyable toy. Its main strength is definitely its unique and well-designed alternate mode, but the robot form also possesses a bit of charm, and while it can't do much, the built-in posability allows us to put it into some interaction with other toys in our collection. So, if you like transforming robots and video games, or just have a soft spot for Transformers with unusual disguises, Power Up VT-6 is worth of your attention. And that's all for this video review. I will be back with the next one soon, and until then, stay well. Thank you for watching.